Hey guys, I'm outside here with Maya. We just woke up a little bit later than I wanted to wake up here at this truck stop. Kind of wanted to wake up earlier, like just when it was starting to get light out or right before, so we could, try to be a little bit more under the radar. Come on. And now she's gonna get herself stuck back here in this brush. But yeah, so we went and looked at a van yesterday, a minivan. Drove all the way to Sterling Heights from Monroe, and I don't know, it just wasn't the right one. The price was good. I would have paid the asking price, but the person I was talking to on Facebook Marketplace was a female. And that's who I was corresponding with. As far as I was concerned, it was a female, as far as I could tell. It was the name and everything. And then when we got there, it was like this guy who drove up in the van like really fast, and as he pulled up next to our car, I rolled down my window, and Sierra and I could both hear like the van was ticking. Like it had an immediate tick, and I don't know why we didn't just pull away and be like, yep, yeah, we're fine, we're not gonna get this one immediately. Hang on, I gotta untangle her immediately. But come on, we gotta just keep walking. Your thing's stuck over there. There we go. Okay, hold on. But we still checked it out. But anyways, it was a 2012, and it was gold. And I was like, well, I don't really know about gold. I don't really like gold, but for the price, we could actually be able to pay the asking price with what we have, or even just like try to knock down 500 and it'd be our initial, like, we had an initial max amount of what we wanted to spend, and then we upped it by 2,000 when we were looking at full-size vans because we weren't finding anything in that such a low range. But with the minivans, you can kind of find stuff cheaper. But with these, anyways, with the experience we had, it was like, I don't know why we hopped in the van with a guy because of COVID. I'm like, why did we even get in this van? Like, he had us get in the van, and then he drove it around, like, the apartment complex. Like, that's not really doing much for me, except for the fact that I could feel every thud in the back of the van when I was riding in the back of it, and Sierra was up front. And he was, then, here, come on, let's go this way so I can talk without people hearing me. Anyways, then Sierra said, well, can we drive it? And he's like, oh, yeah. So I took it out on the actual street, and as I'm driving it onto the road, right in the middle of driving it, he's like, yeah, but it doesn't have any insurance on it right now. And I'm like, well, that's great, because if I get stopped, I'm the one driving it, pretty much. I didn't say that out loud, but that was my thought. And then as I'm driving it, I'm like hitting the gas and realizing that it's just something about it. It was like kind of stuttery, like it wasn't as smooth. And he's like, oh yeah, you feel that it's so smooth, like this, like just saying things that were like trying to up the van, like, yeah, we did this, we spent $4,500 on it in the last this amount of time, and we put on brakes, the brakes brand new, and tires. Oh, she's pooping. And then here, I'm gonna pick this up real quick. Hang on, I'm gonna pause this. Alright. So he was saying they put $4,500 on it in the last, like, he said month, but I'm like, okay. And all he listed was brakes and tires. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, you can get a full set of tires for maybe at the most $400 as a set. I mean, it'd probably be more like 5 or 6 if you get the nicer tires, I should say. And then the brakes would probably be maybe $200 if you do it yourself. And then, so anyways, we got back to the apartment where where we were looking at the van, and he parked it and turned it off, and I asked to look under the hood, and I did, and then he showed us that it had remote start, which is good, because I mean, we wanted remote start so that we could be in the back of the van, and especially since we don't, oh geez, Maya, did you get hurt? Okay, Maya got hurt. Are you okay? Let me look at it. Alright, I don't see anything. You okay? Wanna go back to the car? I don't want to torture you, little dog. You gotta go potty still? I don't know, I think she just stepped on a stick or something, and so I don't see anything over here. You're okay. Basically, I guess I'm getting off track because I'm trying to make sure the dog is okay, but he was basically trying to play up the van and act like it was so great. And he was making comments. I can't remember word for word exactly the comments he was saying, but he's like, oh yeah, it runs so smooth, doesn't it? And we babied her, as he's like slamming on the gas and stuff while he's driving it, which I didn't believe that they babied it. So I'm looking under the hood, and it's finally get him to start it up. We started the car up so I could hear it, and it definitely had like a squeal when it started, and this ticking sound. And I don't know, I guess I should be more confident with when I'm looking at cars. But Sierra was like, yeah, there's a tick, there's a ticking. And I don't know if the guy just misunderstood what she was saying, or if he was like trying to straight up lie. He's like, well, yeah, the struts are bad, so it's ticking. And I'm like, well, I was wondering if it was the wheel bearings, because I was talking about when we were actually driving. And he's like, no, it's the struts. So it needed new struts. And she finally was like, no, the actual engine is ticking. Here, come over here. Come on. She's like, the actual engine is ticking. And then he's like, no, that's just a pinhole in the exhaust system. And then he proceeds to get into the van and slam on the gas as it's sitting there, like, rev it up. Come on. Let's go to the car then. Okay, I'm going to continue this in a second, because... Okay, we're back. We had to make a change of venue. We left the truck stop, and now we're at the park. I can't really remember exactly... Oh, that's muddy. I can't remember exactly what I was saying. But yeah, pretty much we looked at a van. It wasn't the best. And the guy was like offended when we offered him less money. And to be honest, I don't even know why I even offered him money. I should have just been like, yeah, I'll pass. Because, I don't know, I'm just the type of person I feel like I don't know, I think I lack confidence when it comes to dealing with other people. And I'm just like, well, I guess we'll just say this and then... You know, so I had offered him like $1,000 less than what he had listed, just to try to, like, you know, maybe he wouldn't take the offer. Obviously he didn't. And then he gave me like a $500 less offer, and I was like, no, I'll pass. And it was just like, in any other situation, I don't know, I don't know what I'm saying, but the thing that bothered me was the way he reacted. Like, he was one of those people that were like, they'll be super nice to you and want to be like a situation where it's like a guy liking a girl, where he'll be like super nice and like try to get her attention and like try to like butter her up, and then as soon as she says no, he's like, well, I didn't want you anyways, kind of situation. Like, one of those situations like, well, you're fat anyways, kind of thing, when a guy gets turned down. Because it was like, he was basically asking us what we think and stuff, but not really asking, just saying, she's so great, isn't she? Runs nice and smooth. And I was just like, okay. That's all I could say, like, because it didn't. It wasn't the best. I've actually driven I think it was definitely a Dodge Grand Caravan that I drove last. That, was the same price, the same year and everything. It was actually better. The only difference was it didn't have all the features. So we kind of changed our mind a little bit. Here, Weenie, let's go back this way. We kind of changed our mind a little bit. Initially, we were looking at the Dodge Grand Caravans because they looked a little bit sportier. And just looked a little bit better, in my opinion. Less like a mom-mobile compared to the Chrysler Town and Country. And we didn't really like that weird clock. But now, we've actually changed our opinion and have started looking at Chrysler Town and Countries, which is what we looked at last night, which they're really nice. They have, most of them have what we're looking for as far as the removable center console and fog lights, whereas the Dodge Grand Caravans, the SXTs, if they had fog lights, they had the built-in center console that you couldn't remove. So we changed over to the Chrysler Town and Country, and most of them have a lot of features like heated leather seats, and this dog always tries to make me go through tight spaces. Heated leather seats and all that stuff. And they all have like rear heat, able to control the heat from the back, which is good for us because we want to be able to just kind of stealth in the back and change or turn up the heat or whatever. And it was also nice. One of the main points was that it was this specific minivan that we just test drove yesterday was, like I said, the electric start, like the remote start. So that was a plus for us. But when we got there, I don't know, just the demeanor of the person. We thought we were going to see we thought we were going to see a female. I thought I was meeting up with a woman, and then it's some guy, and he comes flying out of nowhere in it, and we could immediately hear the squeal and the ticking of the engine. So, yeah, I'm kind of just recapping what I already went over earlier. We just test drove it. We hopped into his car. Again, I don't know why. We didn't just say, hey, because of COVID, we don't want to be in the vehicle with you, but we were all wearing masks and stuff, so I don't know if that negates the whole, definitely doesn't negate the whole 6 feet rule, but Maya just likes being at the park. I just ramble with my phone in my hand. I appreciate everybody that's actually watching the video. I know it's not the most exciting content. I'm really trying to work on it. I want to put out better content and just have more interesting things, music, and my tarantulas, videos of them, videos of feeding the tarantulas. Right now, the tarantulas that I do have are really small, pretty small. Most of them are like an inch. I think I have one. It's a Grammostola pulchripes, which is a Chaco goldeny. It's the biggest one I have besides the Lasiodora, the little salmon pink bird eater. So I have two tarantulas that are they're like the size of like somewhere between $1.25 and $1/2. They're not very big at all. But their leg spans are wider. So in the future, when it's safe to do so, I'll do some feeding videos of them. Like, I haven't brought it up and I feel ridiculous and like I let my other tarantula down. Don't really know what even happened to him, but one day I was trying to feed him in the back of the car. I opened up his enclosure and I dropped a cricket in, and somehow, I dropped the cricket down into the cork bark where he was at, and he somehow ran up the other side of the cork bark and ran out of the enclosure. And of course he was in the back of the car, and the dog was up front barking because we were in a parking lot, and Sierra was inside of the store. And I just had to quickly shut the door so that the dog didn't get out, and climb to the back of the car and grab I have a collapsible cat carrier, and I quickly put the cat in the collapsible cat carrier because the last thing I wanted was for her to either get hurt by the spider, by the tarantula, or for her to hurt the tarantula. But what happened was I saw him run under the seat, and then I shut the door, and then when I was putting the cat in the carrier, I had the door open, and now that I think about it, there's a potential that he could have just got directly out of the vehicle. But after I put the cat in the carrier and had her secured, I was looking under my seat and I couldn't find him at all. And I looked in all the little, there's little plastic vent looking things under the seat, and I just looked in everything and I couldn't find him at all, and I couldn't find him outside, I couldn't find him anywhere. So for the longest time, at first I figured, okay, well maybe he's just in the car, maybe he climbed into one of these vents, and maybe he'll come out sometime, maybe not at the most opportune time, but at this point I'd rather have him come back and freak me out by crawling up my leg at night or something than for him to be out of the car dead somewhere. But I don't know, I feel like an idiot that even happened in the first place, so I haven't even said anything to anybody, because I was just trying to feed him, and I was trying to get rid of the 2 crickets that I had, because I didn't want the crickets to go to waste. Well, they went to waste anyway, because he got out, and then the one that I put in his enclosure died anyway, because he wasn't in there to eat it. So that was just a really rough day that happened. It's already been a couple weeks ago, but so I had 10 tarantulas, now I'm down to 9. So I don't know. Just stupid shit that happens. That definitely shouldn't have happened. I should have just immediately grabbed for him, but he ran so fast that I couldn't even think. Before I could even realize what had just happened, he was already under the seat, and I looked in the enclosure, and he's not in the enclosure anymore. And I just saw this little black, thing zip by. And it was him. So. But in the future, when I'm not being irresponsible with my tarantula, honestly, I wasn't trying to be irresponsible. He had never done that. I was just trying to give him some food, and when I dropped the cricket in, I don't know if it spooked him or what, but he ran out. I thought for sure I'd find him. I thought he'd eventually come out, and then I'd just have to grab him up. So I guess that's what that is, and I guess I have one less tarantula, unfortunately. I definitely don't plan on buying any more. What I have right now is probably going to be too much. In the future, once they get bigger, I think I'm going to sell a couple of them. So right now I have 3 of the same exact species. They're just varying sizes. So once I figure out if they're males or females, I'll decide what to do after that. So the females live a lot longer than the males. I'm hoping all my tarantulas are females so they can all live 15 years plus, but I'm not going to get my hopes up if they're males and they only live for a couple of years. The males live for about 4 or 5 years, depending on the species. And the one, Mya, that's just a stick, that's not a squirrel. The one that I did lose, I pretty much confirmed myself that he was a male. And he was already 3 inches big, so I don't know how old he could have been. He's probably already about 2 years old based on his size, 2 or 3 years old. So eventually he would have matured, but it was just kind of sad. Not kind of sad, it is sad that happened to him. And I just feel like I let him down because I didn't catch him or 100% make sure he was in the car before I pulled away, because I was like, okay, well, I don't see him anywhere, so he must be under the seat. Maybe in the plastic little vent thing. Okay, I don't know what that is. Let's not step in it and smell it. Let's go this way. Come on. So that happened. I know this video is probably already way too long, and that doesn't look, from over here that looks like blood. Get over here. I don't know if that's blood or oil or what, but from over here that looks like blood, and she was smelling it. Why do I always see the weirdest things here? It's probably deer blood, or it's definitely an animal, but maybe it's something from a vehicle. I don't know. Come on, let's leave it. From the other side it looked just like oil, and then when I got to the other side of it in the sunlight, it looks pretty red, but maybe it's just some type of fuel, or not fuel, but oh, there she goes again. I gotta pick it up. Okay, we're back again. So yeah, we were at the truck stop, and then I had to finish the first part of this video. Because when I looked at the car, Sierra was out there waiting for me because I locked the doors while she was in the bathroom and I was walking the dog at first. And then what we actually did, I guess when she was in there, she was looking around the store and she found this 12-volt kettle, which we'd been looking for something like that. So now we plan on being able to use this 12-volt kettle to actually heat up the water. We multiple times at different truck stops we found the one that was like a cup that kept everything hot on a 12-volt, like in a connected 12-volt. But we never found one that actually heated the water from the start. So we grabbed that up for $30 today. It's pretty small. It only holds 20 ounces of water, but for what we need, we don't need anything massive. And we can just make soup or something. Not soup, but like something that requires hot water to be mixed into it. Maybe mashed potatoes, porridge type stuff. She's gonna go down in here and have to make me come in there and get her. I hate when she does stuff like this. And then she gets tangled up. Then she can't get back without me climbing through all this. Come on. The last thing I want to do is scratch up my glasses. Come back. Come back around. Come on, you can do it. You got in there. You can come back out. Come on. Come on. Let's see if we can get her out of here. I might have to pause the video and pull her out myself. Oh, there she comes. Good girl. Good job. Don't do that. She got out. Good job. I remember one time when we lived in White Lake and they had something kind of like this down the dirt road that we walked, and she got so tangled up and I had to walk back into it, and it was just swampy and wet and destroyed my tennis shoes that day. Because much like I'm doing now, I was recording, talking, and she climbed back in there, and then before I knew it, I had to climb into it and get her out of it because she was so tangled up back there. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Like I said, I plan on making more, trying to improve my content, make it actually interesting, make other videos other than myself just walking around talking and showing the dog, potentially sitting there and actually having a conversation, my face into the, like my face on the camera. I can't speak. I bought a tripod on Black Friday, but then Sierra was looking at it and it's missing a piece, so I'm gonna have to go return that. I should probably do that today since it's already Sunday and I bought it on Friday. But the plan is to set up the tripod with my phone or with a camera and actually sit there and talk about things. And then when I get a van, either pulling my guitar out of storage or buying a travel guitar and setting it up and recording some stuff. The only thing I worry about a travel guitar is it's not going to be very loud. And eventually, once it warms up again, and if COVID's not so bad, I want to be out busking. I mean, I could definitely busk in this weather right now. It's 40-something degrees, but it feels nice and warm in the sun. But I don't have space in the car right now for a guitar to even do that. I would like to do it with a guitar and a rechargeable amp PA type thing. But might just have to do it with a guitar and just try to be loud with my voice and have no effects. And then eventually I want to use my guitar pedals again. And I was thinking I definitely should have bought a smaller powered mixer, because the one I have now has a lot of options. It has about 4 XLR connections. I should have just went with something that had 2. But the ones that I looked at that had 2 did not have built-in effects. But now that I'm in the situation I'm in, I definitely should have got something smaller. I bought it back when we lived in a house, and I was using it to live stream on Twitch. I really only used it a couple times, and it bothers me that I didn't do more when I had the chance. I'm sure that's like a universal thing that people have. The thought of like wishing they could have done more when they had the chance, but so now I'm in this situation. I don't even have my guitar. I don't have my powered mixer or any of that stuff. I'm just kind of feeling it. Just feeling like I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I feel like what I can do now is make YouTube videos, because I have a phone and I can just either upload directly from my phone, which I've done a couple different times, or if I want, I can try to be a little bit more productive with it and upload multiple videos to my computer, to my laptop, and try to edit them and add like a little intro and all that. I do that sometimes, but the only thing with my computer is I have to either USB tether my phone to it or turn on my hotspot to upload. So uploading stuff uses a lot of my hotspot data, which with Metro PCS I have 15 gigabytes to upload. So I'm thinking, now that I have this new SD card, what I can do is download a couple apps on my phone and maybe just make it more compact and not even have to pull out my laptop, and just try to work with my phone and upload stuff. What I want to be able to do on my phone is add like an intro, add the like the watermark type YouTube name on the bottom of the channel, and then add some music. It's just it's tough sometimes with a little phone to edit the videos, but I think if I find the right app, it should be easier. But yeah, you're going to get like a 40-minute video of me just talking about everything. And I didn't even really finish the whole situation with the minivan. But yeah, we're looking at Chrysler Town & Countries now. 2012 and newer. Ones that just have the features we want. Specifically the removable center console so we can climb in and out. And the plan initially was to buy like a hitch, like a receiver hitch, and put the propane tank back there on like a carrying. Come on, that's really muddy. I guess it's not really muddy, but it's muddy. And anyways, put the propane tank on the back of the car. Maybe put some type of like luggage little plastic cover on it so it wasn't so noticeable. And then put the cooler we already have, which we have a 55 quart cooler. But I'm thinking that's going to be way too big. And I think I'm just going to purchase the 28 quart cooler or something similar, something that will just hold enough stuff just to keep food cold for a day. And with the minivan, we won't have space to buy a 12-volt fridge. And we initially were looking at buses, which, when I think about it now, seems ridiculous and crazy. Like, I don't know what we were thinking. With the buses, they get like 10 miles to the gallon at the most, sometimes. But when we were looking at that, I was like, okay, we can get a 12-volt fridge and get the max air vent fan and all this fancy shit. But, now that we're looking at a minivan, I think we're just going to go with the bare minimum and just try to survive and not have to spend a whole lot of money. Okay, that is a squirrel up there now. She sees it. She's going to try to stalk it. It's going to get away, but way before we can get to it. I don't even want to run. Maya, it's going to get away. It's going to see you. Jeez, damn, make me run. Yep, it's going to get to the tree. Oh, I actually got to the sandbox. Hang on. Let me run up. Well, if she didn't have me, she probably could have made it to it, but I'm holding her back. I thought about buying a 100-foot leash. I can't remember the name of the brand specifically off the top of my head, but they make a leash that's like 100 foot long, and then that way I would just kind of drop it and let her run after whatever she's running after, and then just grab it, like run after her to get the leash. Because I don't think she's going to be able to get 100 feet too fast before I could grab the leash. I just worry about if I'm holding onto the leash, once she gets to the end of the 100 feet, it'll choke her and hurt her. Like the force of her reaching the end of it will just like, you know. Come on, let's go back this way. I definitely need to do some videos where I'm just sitting still so that I'm not causing vertigo for everybody. I'm just trying to record while walking. I'm sure it's shaky and not the most. Definitely more of an audio type video to listen to than a visual, unless you like staring at this dog. Come on, leave it. You're not going to be able to get it. It's all the way up there. Okay. So yeah, still looking for a minivan, but just working out everything in my head of what I want to actually do. As far as keeping everything just simple, we're not going to put a bed in it, like not an actual built-in bed. We're going to use some foam pad and stuff, and blankets that we already have. Just stuff that we can roll up and fold away and have that space again, because obviously in a minivan you have very limited amount of space. And now we have this 12 volt, I guess it's like a, can't think of the word now, kettle. It's like a 12 volt kettle, but it's square. It looks kind of like a miniaturized version of like a water filter, like a Brita filter, but tiny. It's just a little clear container. Come on, get out of there. I don't know why she does this, because I'm not paying attention and she doesn't like to listen. Come on. And then once we have a minivan, we have our bucket, like a big 5-gallon bucket, paint bucket, and like a Ozark Trail Walmart version of the Luggable toilet seat. And then I'm going to grab some compostable bags, and the other plan is for urine, we're going to just have a jug and a funnel, which we already have both of those. We're just going to stick the funnel and the jug down in there. So you just pee into the jug, and then the compostable bags will be for poops. initially I was like, oh, we could make a composting toilet and do all this. 'Cause I was watching a lot of videos about buses where they had compostable toilets and use like the pine pellets that we already use for our litter box for the cat. But like I said, we're just gonna try to keep everything simple, make everything simpler. There's no reason to make it more difficult on us. Come on, let's go this way. I don't know what you want in the bushes. This is gonna take a year to upload. I might just have to upload everything from my phone so that way I can use my actual data and just kind of mash the videos together that I've made throughout the day. It'll be like an actual vlog, but pretty much just walking around talking. Alright, well, I'm gonna go back to the car. Maybe work on uploading this video. Every time I make a video, I'm like, wow, I should have just, like, why did I even say that? I should have, like, even now, I'm like, I don't even know. There's so much more that I wanted to say, and then I kind of just ramble on about stuff, and I don't get directly to the point. And I think, oh, it would have been so much better if I had said it this way, or said this. I feel like I can't even speak. Like, I can feel myself stuttering in a way. But I'm going to stop complaining about my issues and go back to the car. Looks like she's going to make me run around this park a little bit longer, though, but I don't know that anybody's going to want to sit and watch an hour-long video where I just ramble on. So yeah, my goal is to get a minivan, start doing something with music again, do something with YouTube. Hopefully something happens, I don't know. I'm trying to hold out some hope for it, but I understand that I'm not uploading the most interesting content, and it's pretty much about me, so if people never really been the type of person that people seek out to hear more from, but my content's a little bit self-centered, just about my situation and showing my dog and talking about my plan to try to get somewhere in life. Maybe someday get out of poverty, I don't know. Alright, well, I'm gonna end it before I say anything else that's just, not important. Hope you guys are having a great day. Maya and I are gonna be at the park today, and I'm gonna try to upload some videos from my phone now that I bought myself an SD card. And I'm gonna use my tripod to try to make more videos of just myself talking, and you'll actually be able to see my face, maybe. I kind of have some low self-esteem, so for me, I just like recording the videos and talking behind the camera. And then when I'm done editing them, I don't listen to them again because I don't like hearing my voice very much. Alright guys, well, make more videos later.